Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Box Office Bros and the very first video one if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, you don't have to. This is also an audio version of a podcast.
Yeah, we got fucking Grogu with us.
Yep, we have Grogu behind here. We have a makeshift studio. This is my kitchen table that I moved over to my living room. We got my Christmas lights at the top. If you're watching the audio version, pop in over on YouTube at DisneyFreak39. You can check out the makeshift setup. I don't have a budget for like a big one.
I feel like such a fraud sitting here next to Baby Yoda because I've not seen more than 4 episodes of The Mandalorian.
Well, speaking about that, I mean, I'm gonna jump right into it. They're making a Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming right to theaters.
Really?
They're gonna probably skip over season 4 of The Mandalorian. I mean, they might do it, and they're gonna go right to theaters. The next movie that was supposed to come out was a Solo Rey movie set 15 years later, but I guess there was probably a lot of backlash, and they're like, you know what, let's put in a movie that's actually going to make people happy.
Because as we know, Star Wars fans love the character of Rey Skywalker.
I like the sequels. I don't care what people think. I like the sequels a lot.
Yeah, they're definitely overhated for sure. I'm not the biggest fan, but they're overhated.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Snow
nice
today.
Snowy day.
Very light snow.
Very beautiful snow. I woke up this morning and I stood out by my window and I have these woods in my backyard.
It snowed a couple of days ago and it snowed even more then. Today was like a light snow.
Yeah,
and we just got back from seeing The Beekeeper, and we also saw Saltburn. I put up a poll on my Instagram story and asked you guys which movie we should review for the next podcast. I put Saltburn and also Paddington 1 and 2, because everyone loves those movies, including our boss at Shout Out Hot Chicken Mama. Our boss wants us to watch Paddington 1 and 2 so bad.
But that would be clamoring for it.
Yeah, he was like, watch this movie.
Please.
So we'll do that maybe in a future episode, but you guys wanted us to watch Saltburn, so we watched both of these movies, and we're going to talk about them. But first, I want to discuss some reboots happening. Wizards of Waverly Place is getting a reboot. Now, you didn't watch the Disney show. I did. I was a big fan of it. I remember watching the final episode. I remember exactly what I was doing. I was building a Lego City space set while watching the final episode of Wizards of Waverly Place, and that's just in my brain.
I could imagine you doing that at the ripe age of 13.
I think that was 2011 or 2012. Yeah, I'm excited.
So I guess they're gonna do like a Ghostbusters type thing with it, where it's Selena
I don't know if the whole cast is coming back.
And the other person, they're old and they're teaching the new generation.
I'm gonna assume, it's probably David Henry or Selena Gomez as a family, and they were they have wizard kids of their own. And also today, they released a picture for Tron 3 with Jared Leto. Which, for some reason, Jared just is in everything. He was just in Haunted Mansion. Not a great movie. It was okay.
Didn't see that one, but so actually when they released it on Disney Plus for Halloween, right?
Yeah.
So remember when it came out over the summer?
Yeah, in July.
We were like, why are they putting out a Halloween movie over the summer? That's so weird. Well, now it's on Disney Plus. It can make its big Halloween
And I don't think
debut.
anyone watched it on Disney Plus.
Isn't that fucking crazy? Yeah.
Jungle Cruise was definitely better, but all of these Disney park movies, they don't really work that well.
It's just... Man.
Where's my Tower of Terror movie?
I did not see Jungle Cruise or Haunted Mansion for the record, but when I saw the trailers for them, I just know, this is gonna be shit. This is gonna be a shit movie.
Haunted Mansion was okay. I wouldn't say it's bad. I would say it's probably better than the Eddie Murphy one, but I still didn't love it. I'm a big Disney Parks fan, if you guys don't know. I'm obsessed with them, and just seeing them kind of destroy these, rides and movies, I don't know. Well, what would you want to see? If you had to pick any ride from a Disney park, I want Tower of Terror. What do you want to see if you don't have one?
I don't know. I feel like just lining yourself up for this is hey, take this thing that I loved in my childhood and make it into a mediocre feature film for a few dollars.
Expedition Everest? Get Disco Yeti?
No. Yeah, they'd botch that one, man. I tell you.
So... we're going to talk about The Beekeeper first, because we just got back from the theater and seeing it. And then after, we're going to talk about Saltburn. We're going to be discussing both movies in a spoiler context. So if you guys have not seen either one of them, I would say definitely step away and come back for a different episode of this podcast, or watch the movie and then come back. And also, both of these movies rated R. Saltburn probably one up higher from R.
Yeah, if you're a child, don't watch this shit.
Please do not watch. This is a mature episode. This is not your family-friendly stuff. Let's get into
any of those preteen Euphoria fandoms that want to go watch this one because they're like Jacob
Elordi from the Kissing Booth.
God.
You are in for a treat if you watch this movie.
Yeah, but
So-
we'll talk about The Beekeeper first.
Yeah, The Beekeeper first. It's more PG than Saltburn, but still is rated R. I would say it's probably more PG-13 though. We'll just jump right into it.
It wasn't that bad.
They like overdid it with some of the gore. Like you did not have to have some of this stuff.
I didn't think anything was like too
I mean,
bad.
no. I mean, like they probably put in scenes so they would get that R rating. They could have passed for PG-13.
Maybe.
But what were your thoughts on this movie? Because I honestly was not a huge fan.
Yeah, I have to say, man. All right, let's just basically bring up things that we thought were stupid about the movie. I'll go first.
Well, wait. First thing first. This movie is about this guy.
Oh, yes.
Let me just give you a synopsis. This movie is about this guy who's a beekeeper who used to be an ex-assassin for this organization known as the Beekeepers. Every type of movie is like this now. They're all guy who retired.
If you're hoping to get some explanation as to what exactly the Beekeeper is, the movie never really explains to it, just in a vague, like, well, I'll bring it up because it's one of the reasons why I just...
Okay,
this movie's just so
so
bad.
he's a beekeeper. He's working on this farm for this elderly lady, trying to get rid of these bees and collect the honey. And this lady goes on her computer and there's a scam pop up and she clicks it. She calls up the number and basically they scam her out for like $2 million or something like that. And big spoiler, if you've not seen the movie, this is probably one of the biggest spoilers. She ends up committing suicide. So then Jason Statham's character goes in, finds her dead.
On a revenge quest.
Yeah, and is basically going to do anything in his power to take down them.
And the mother had a daughter who is also, like, coincidentally a special agent in
Yes.
the FBI who's also going on this, like, manhunt to find
whoever
Jason
did this
Statham's
scamming.
character and whoever did the scamming, and yeah, it's just...
So I would say this is the stupidest action I think I've seen in a movie as of recent memory.
When we were talking about this the other day, and you said you had only seen one trailer for this, I see probably 5 trailers
I've actually
for
seen
this.
more now.
I've seen probably 5 trailers for this a day in the past, like, 2 weeks or so.
Every time I go on TikTok, I get a pop-up.
Every time I go on Instagram, every 5 posts, it's like, Jason Statham is the Beekeeper, and it's that shot of him, like, kind of putting on the suit or whatever. Look, this movie sucked. Jason Statham is the only actor who I thought actually gave, like, a good performance in it. The rest of the actors are just not cutting their weight. I know Josh Hutcherson, public opinion on him is very high right now. Because, like, he was in FNAF, and, like, that movie was fine. I liked it and all, but he just was not good in this movie.
He was overacting.
He was, like, he's trying to be, like, this tech bro, but he's overdoing it to the point where it's like, this just isn't really funny. Like, Jeremy Irons is in this movie.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't expecting
They
him.
must have gave him a lot of money, because I don't know why he would be in this movie at
This
this
is also
point in his
a
career.
January release,
Yeah.
and most January movies don't end up doing good, but I had hope.
And how about at the end of this one, when Jason Statham breaks his hand, tells him to sit down? That's the last time we ever see his character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this movie, there's no falling action, there's no resolution, conclusion, everything. The climax just finishes up. Jason Statham's character gets away from the special forces like 30 seconds after the climax ends, and the movie is just over.
It was the most abrupt ending I've seen.
It's just crazy. Like, I literally audibly said, like, that's it?
Yeah.
Like...
So, all of the action in the movie is kind of like a Broadway type of thing, because it's super fake. Like, you know it's fake action. Like, the punches...
The choreography was just not well thought out at all. They don't use the environments in a creative way at all in the fights. I mean, that fight between him and the Brute was one of the worst, like, kinds of those fights I've ever seen. They just, like,
the knife in the
strong-arm each other, trying to stab each other. I mean, it sucks. There's no creativity at all.
I will say my favorite part about the movie was when he used the jigsaw to cut off the guy's fingers. I thought that was kind of cool to use, like, the environment.
Yeah, that was alright. And them killing that guy, I mean, that bit was funny and all, but it was in the trailer.
It was? I don't remember
it was in the trailer. I'm like, and everyone's laughing at it. Like, guys, it's in the trailer. You saw it already.
He basically just tied him up to a car, and the car just went off the bridge.
Yeah, and I saw it in every single trailer for this. It's like, guys, don't laugh. They already showed it to you. Like,
so, what was the best part about the movie for you?
I don't know. I still have a lot more to say about. So look. So all right. So what are the Beekeepers? Because you said,
you only see one of them.
As you said in the synopsis, you're like, oh, they're like a special assassin force. So basically, they're like supposed to be this program for the CIA, but their relationship is never actually explained.
And they will never back down. They will always fulfill their mission no matter what.
Yeah, so
that's all you really know.
So there's basically like no way to stop them. You don't know the history of why they found it or what their relationship is with the CIA or the feds or anything like that. Like as far as we know, the president doesn't know anything about them. Oh, and also, the president of the United States did not know that her campaign money was funded by CIA like data mining ops for like scam agencies. You're the president. How do you not know that? And it's like, oh, so this like source of your funds is the only suspect source of the millions of dollars that a president racks up every year. It makes no sense. God. Yeah.
I thought Josh Hutcherson was going to have a better part, but he did not play his part well.
Yeah, and he didn't even do anything in the movie. This guy's the main villain, and he never has like a conflict with Jason Statham.
They only interact once in the movie.
Yeah, they have that minor conversation on the phone, and then at the end, how about his death scene? Not even a sound effect to the gunshot. He's just like,
Jason,
he just
shoots
does
him
a
in the
lot
head.
of coke, and he decides he's gonna kill his mom by shooting her in the head, and Jason Statham just kills him. Just nothing, no, not even a sound effect to the shot. And there's no, like, barely any mourning for his character. The mom's just like, no, my son,
No. She's definitely like, I want to see my son while she's getting dragged out by the security.
Yeah, but it's like 5 seconds. It's never followed up on.
Well, I mean, there's something to follow up because then the movie ends. It ends like 30 seconds
Yeah,
later after he puts on his scuba suit.
Yeah, it's such a nothing movie.
I mean, out of Jason Statham's career, I would say this is probably one of the lowest movies.
Yeah, and I think he's such a charismatic fun actor, but it's like, why does he pick all of these stupid scripts to be in? Like The Meg and Fast and Furious? Like, come on, man. Like, I want to see in some real stuff here, you know?
Listen, a check is a check. If he's getting paid enough amount, if he's getting paid enough, then
if this is his kind of movie, it's his kind of movie. But
and then all the bee puns. I don't know if you noticed them, if you picked them up. There were a lot of bee puns in the movie because he's a beekeeper. It's just nothing.
Yeah, and how did the FBI not? How are they like? It's just so. Because the mother who, I don't remember any of the characters' names, by the way. Wiley, the one guy, the one FBI agent. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, girl FBI agent. He's like, you come in here after your mother dies and you do more on this case than the rest of the feds have in 2 months. And it's like, dude, this call center is a big, ginormous glass office building. And later in the movie, it's revealed that they move like millions of dollars. Like
it's like $1 billion company.
No one saw this giant office building with private security. Like, and it's not like this is in the middle of nowhere. It's in like the Northeast.
I also don't want to make fun of it because it's the movie's budget, but the VFX was so bad for that one scene when the building blows up.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of looked like nothing. Just an explosion.
I will say this is a movie you could definitely skip if it's on streaming. Don't gotta watch it. There are so many better action movies.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those movies like next week I'm gonna like forget that I saw it.
I feel like
someone in passing is gonna be like, oh yeah, I saw The Beekeeper. I'm gonna be like, oh no, I didn't get around to seeing that one. I'm gonna be like, oh right, I saw that.
Like at the end of the year, when we make our top 10 list, we're gonna be like,
I'm gonna forget about this one. Like, oh yeah, The Beekeeper. I watched this. I gave like 2 hours of my life to this. Yeah.
I think too many movies are trying to be a John Wick knockoff. I know you didn't see these movies, and you definitely need to watch them. But basically, the John Wick movies has like a secret society, and every movie now tries to be like John Wick, but it doesn't add something new to it. It's always a knockoff.
Yeah, and forget adding something new. They barely even explain like
anything about.
Yeah, that CIA director who comes in and addresses. Like, I thought there was going to be an arc about her like having to cover up the Beekeeper from the FBI because normally that's how like that kind of thing works. They're two separate agencies, but her character is just gone. Like, after that one meeting with them. It's like all these plot lines come and go, and they just never finish them off. There's no depth or context to any of the things you're watching on screen.
The movie dragged. I don't know if you felt the runtime. It was like an hour 45, but I felt like it dragged a lot.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's the pacing so much. It's more so, like, just boring. Just boring action for no reason.
I don't really have much to say, but I would say this is definitely a movie that you would be like going in Walmart and it's like a nice $5 bargain.
Yeah, if this
bin.
is what the studio, the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad was gonna be like, don't release that.
I still want to see it.
Keep that one on the shelves.
I liked this first Suicide Squad movie until I went back and rewatched it. When I rewatched it, like, to prepare for the Suicide Squad, I was like, never mind, this movie sucks. But when I watched it, I believe it was 2016 it came out or something. I was 14, so I guess my perception was different back then. But I still don't know if David Ayer is a great director.
Yeah, the last one he did was Bright, right?
Oh, that was the Netflix movie.
Yeah,
I didn't finish it. I watched half of it.
Really questionable kind of race messages in that movie as a white director to be very, very weird allegory for it, comparing people of color to orcs.
I really don't remember it.
Vibes. Yeah, and that with the Suicide Squad and this, it's just, I don't know. Not for me.
He's been campaigning hard for the Ayer cut, and he says it's out there. He's like, it could be made. I would watch it. Would you watch an Ayer cut?
Dude, no.
Not with the DC Universe ending, you're like over it all.
What's the point?
Did you watch...
And I'm all for like the director's true vision getting made, and especially with like companies like Warner Brothers and things like that just move their release dates around with impunity and don't seem to really care about filmmakers. I could totally see studio interference happening, but like everywhere you go, you're not gonna have studio interference. At some point, you just gotta make a movie that...
Did you watch the Snyder Cut?
No.
Okay. Well, basically, the Snyder Cut was put out 4-hour version of Justice League. It was so much better than the theatrical version, but there's a new movie that he put out, Rebel Moon, on Netflix. Zack Snyder put out this movie.
Yeah, I saw the trailers for that.
It is supposedly terrible, but before the movie came out, he announced that there would be a Snyder Cut to the movie that he already was making for a streaming service.
Yeah, and it's like I'm glad the Snyder Cut got made because people said they liked it better, and
but you don't need a cut for a movie that's already getting made for a streaming service.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want.
I wanted it to be rated R, blah blah blah. Like Netflix gave you like so much money to make the movie you wanted.
Netflix has movies that are over 3 hours long that are originals. Why do you need it cut down for a streaming service? It was so stupid. It was probably just to bring in more hype and get all those Snyder Cut fans on
and
board.
Also what he said is that he wanted it to be rated R. Like Netflix has so many originals that are mature, and look at Apple TV. They have like Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon that are all long and rated R and really graphic, and they're doing fine. Like there's no reason for him to do this.
Like I get when the studios cut down movies. He's an egotistical
filmmaker that makes shit movies.
Like when they cut down movies, no, it's okay. I get when they cut down movies for theatrical, but for streaming services, I don't really understand that.
Yeah, because I'm in the comfort of my own home watching it anyway. There's really... I love long movies, and I don't see any reason why, if you're in Zack Snyder's or Netflix position, there had to be 2 cuts of the movie made. No way you look at it makes any sense. Other than that, he's an egotistical filmmaker.
You have any other thoughts on The Beekeeper before we move on?
The thoughts are kind of escaping me right now.
The movie is probably going to be in my bottom 10. I only seen 2 movies this year.
Shit action, shit villains, shit story, shit writing. it's basically all shit. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 10. The beer I had in the theater was
going to give
nice.
it a 2 out of 5. I was going to give it like a 3 or 4 out of 10. I would say there were some good moments in it, but it was mostly useless.
All the moments of it where like, oh, that was like a nice moment, are just stuff I saw in the trailer. Like
they gotta sell tickets.
Like the guy getting tied in the rope. Like that had our whole theater laughing, but it was in the trailer, so I didn't remember it. I didn't get any catharsis.
I laughed, but I saw the trailer too, so I guess the trailer was so unforgettable. So was this the first movie that you saw this year in a theater?
Yep.
Okay, I saw Mean Girls last week. I don't think this movie intrigues you. It was so good, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original. I haven't seen this one. So, do you wanna give your review on it?
Well, Mean Girls is a musical adaptation of the Broadway show, which is based upon the 2004 movie. So it's like a movie based on a musical based on a movie.
It's a triple reboot.
Yes. I loved it. People didn't know it was a musical going in. I knew about it, but I thought it was so good. I thought Renee Rapp, who played Regina George, did a great job. Do you remember the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland? The girl who played Betty Brant, who was like Ned's girlfriend, she plays
Oh
Lindsay
yes,
Lohan's
yes.
role
All
in the
right,
movie, and she did a great
I
job.
could imagine that being a good
It
casting
was so
choice.
good. Musical numbers were great. I thought it was a 10 out of 10 movie. Cancel me. I love the movie. It's getting a lot of hate online because people hate the music. I had no opinions on the Broadway musical, so to see the Broadway musical songs and then hear the movie songs, they are very different, but I feel like the music for a movie should be different from a Broadway show. Like, you can't go over the top with music in movies, in a musical.
I feel like you can if you have the right director
Basically,
and set pieces.
the movie version is way more toned down from the musical, so people are hating on the movie for that. But, like, I had no, like, prior knowledge to the musical, so I didn't really mind. Go and check that one out. Let's go talk about Saltburn, though.
Saltburn? So, what did you
Also,
think of...
First thing first, Saltburn is a very mature movie. There are a lot of scenes in this movie that is really hard R.
Me and Anthony are going to be giving graphic
This is going to
depictions
be
of sexual acts.
This is not family friendly at all. If
Yeah.
you are under the age of 18, please click away. I'm warning you. There are some crazy scenes in this movie, some of the craziest ones I've ever seen in a movie. I love Saltburn. I was gonna watch it for like 30 minutes. I streamed on Twitch. I was like, I'm gonna go and watch this movie for a little bit before I go to bed. My eyes were glued to the screen for that entire 2 hours. I watched the entire movie in one sitting. It was 3 a.m. when I finished it. I love this movie so much.
No, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. The way it's talked about online, I thought it was gonna be like I think the graphic erotic nature of it actually really does work in the story's favor, and it really does take you into the setting of Saltburn, and I honestly didn't think it was too bad, and that's not to say, oh, I'm so rough and tough, I watch so many gory and disgusting things, but, like, it's not anything worse than, like, you know, really, like... It's not anything worse than, like, kind of depraved horror movie stuff.
Heard the
like,
movie...
you're not going to be sick to your stomach.
Yeah. Have you heard about the movie Poor Things with Emma Stone?
Yeah, I wanted to see that
I haven't
one,
seen it either, but I heard
it.
it's worse than Saltburn. So I'm not sure what's in that movie. I still have to watch it. But, I mean, there were definitely scenes in this movie that I did have to look away for.
Really?
But, yeah, I'll give you guys a quick synopsis of the movie in case you haven't seen it. Basically, what university does he go to? This guy goes to a university.
Oxford.
Is it Oxford? It's okay.
Yeah.
And
it takes place in like
2006.
Oxford in like the mid 2000s.
Yes.
That era.
2006. He sees this guy and he starts crushing on him. So he basically puts himself into this guy's life and tries to make him fall in love with him because he's a secret crush on him. That's like a quick synopsis. He goes over to his mansion for the summer because he tattles and he makes a little fib about his life, and he basically takes...
Well, it's not revealed to us in that way.
Okay, yeah, scrap that.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a better synopsis?
Yeah. So this movie follows this guy played by Barry Keoghan, who's an excellent actor, and we'll talk a little bit about him later. He's a new student at Oxford. He's very socially awkward. He doesn't really fit in anywhere, and there's this super popular hot guy at the school played by Jacob Elordi who has an eyebrow piercing in this movie. So everyone hold on to your knickers. And he basically tries to establish a connection with him and foster something, and things
basically
erupt from there. And yeah,
goes to his little mansion, meets the fam.
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie.
Me too.
It was a lot more artful than I was expecting. I liked how the 4:3 kind of
the camera was completely different. The color grading on it.
Yeah, the cinematography was also very good. This is the first movie I've seen from this director. I don't remember her name, but I have to check out some of other stuff because I was really impressed with a lot of the shots.
I went in without knowing anything. I just knew that one scene with the bathtub, but besides that, I didn't watch a trailer. I wanted to go in completely blind. Did you watch anything before?
No, I just saw like the discourse online. Yeah.
So I guess we should talk about these scenes.
Yes.
And how it like works with the movie. I think some of them work. Some of them were a little over the top. I had to look away during the bathtub scene because I'm a germaphobe. So watching him lick the bottom of the bathtub,
germaphobe's perspective.
Yeah, I had to look away because I was disgusted.
That's probably such a specific like the drain and everything.
Like him just licking the drain, not like if you see the movie, it's even more disgusting because Jacob Elordi's character.
Yeah, like
he does
like
something.
the movie isn't disturbing. It's more so like erotic, like and not like even really smut, but it's just erotic. It's not disturbing, you know. Like
there are some scenes that go a little too far. I think specifically that graveyard scene at the end, which we'll get to talk about that when we talk more about the previous scenes. But there were a few scenes that I thought it works, but some of them seems like they go over the top just to be like, oh, look at us.
But I think that is also like the point.
I guess it's also
because
the character.
Because
how Barry
this individual played by Barry is very twisted.
His character's name is Oliver.
Yeah, okay, Oliver Quick. Yeah, I had no idea this was gonna be a British movie. So they're like Oliver Quick and,
okay,
and
I'm not
Felix
gonna lie.
Undergrath.
I was kind of turned off. I was like, oh no, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of British accents in movies. So I started watching it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But then I got used to it. After, the first 5 minutes.
They said the character's name was Oliver Quick, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is this? But like, I have to say, one thing I loved about this movie was the setting. I think. Like, it really did make me wanna be at Oxford in this time, but also the way it depicts it as being so isolating for someone like Oliver, it also made me not want to go. So I was like in this limbo about time it, period. And yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Like the setting,
were 4 years old in this.
Yeah, the setting really drew me in. And I thought the acting was all really good. There were a lot of good actors in this.
Some of them I never even heard of.
Rosamund Pike was in it. I had no idea. She was the
sister?
The mom.
Oh, the mom? Okay.
The mom, yeah. I had no idea she was in this movie. Richard E. Grant was in this movie.
I wasn't
as the
expecting
father.
him.
I had no idea. I had no idea Barry Keoghan was in this movie, who, if he's going to be the Joker in the Matt Reeves Batman movies, I'm all for that. I think like his performance in this movie was very good.
You got a point.
Yeah.
He played like a toned down version of the Joker in this movie.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, his kind of like dead stare and his like
he can manipulate
people.
When it
reveals the twist and his like machinations and like. I thought it was great stuff.
This was like a slow burn movie where it's very slow, but then once it starts picking up, it's
which
amazing.
You normally don't like.
I don't normally like, but I was invested in this movie. And maybe this will...
I love slow burns. I think this movie really nailed the pace of it.
I think it will definitely get me more involved in like other slow paced movies.
I liked all the characters in this one, even the side characters. I liked that butler, and I liked the Carey Mulligan character. I had no idea she was in this either. I will say,
the butler, I was like, what's up with this guy? I could have swore that he was like involved with this.
I thought he was going to be in on the twist.
Yeah, it was just like...
Yeah, and I think
nothing.
The main part of the twist I liked is that Felix at the end of the day was kind of just like a normal, nice guy. Because the whole movie, it builds up to that he has this kind of dark, erotic secret. And you find out it's actually Barry who does. And you find out that Felix was really just this nice guy who wanted to take Oliver in. And, you know, it's just, it was a brutal twist. It was brutal. And it was well done.
I was not expecting all of the deaths that would happen in the last like 10 minutes. That caught me off guard, the way he just like killed off the entire family. And then I really like the time jump that happens after he leaves, after he gets like paid off by the dad and then he leaves. I thought that was really cool that he kind of made his way back into that life when he met up with the mom. Mm-hmm. And then he just took over the entire estate.
Yeah. And I think that has something to say about how like we kind of turn ourselves into the people we kind of admire and adore so much. Like, I think it's an interesting note that the sister, when she's in the bathtub in that scene talking to Oliver before she dies,
before she pulls a Hannah Baker.
Yeah. Well, or it's implied that he did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know because they show the razor blades right on the bathtub, so I don't know if she did it or he did it.
Not to get all conspiratorial, but things have happened in high crime government things where things have been made to look as such. So I think Oliver, I think it's implying that Oliver was like
so
responsible
he like made
for
it look like she
unless did. Maybe I honestly,
It's
I
all
don't remember.
implied.
It
A
could
lot
be.
of the movie is
Yeah,
speculation.
I feel like either or, whether Oliver did it
Mhm.
or she did it because she was so distraught or whatever.
And she was
Either
also
way,
drunk, so I don't
yeah,
know if that
either
could
way
be.
it works. But anyways, in the last scene before when she's talking to Oliver, she notes how he's wearing Felix's cologne and he's sort
Yeah.
of made his way into the family. And I think it's something to say about how we kind of turn ourselves into the people we adore. And I think that theme and the erotic nature and the characters, yeah, it really came together
Mhm.
nicely for me. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Which scene was the most graphic in your opinion? Like the one, did you have to look away at all for the movie?
No,
Okay.
no. Again, if like, not to be like, oh, I watched so many crazy things, but it's not. It's not. The movie is not like disturbing by any
Mhm.
means. Like,
It's more shock.
yeah,
Like, I did not know anything except for the bathtub. So during the graveyard scene,
Yeah.
if you haven't seen the movie, he literally fucks his grave,
yeah,
which is
yeah. Like
Weird.
full penile insertion into the dirt.
he like digs a little hole and he's just going right at it.
Yeah.
I
And now Felix was in a casket, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean,
I think it
his
was more
dick's
that
probably just
his
hitting the top
essence
of
is
the
there.
box. Yeah. But, yeah, still,
and then
yeah,
like the
definitely a
vampire
scene.
scene where he's like, I'm a vampire.
yeah.
And then what else? You got the bathtub, and then you got the final scene, and murder in the dance
Yeah,
floor has been
big,
in my head.
Yeah, big Clockwork Orange Jack Nicholson vibes from that scene where he's dancing around naked. I feel like that's probably alluding to the fact that he's gonna be the Joker because Jack Nicholson was in Clockwork Orange and he danced
I mean, that's more
around
far-fetched,
and Barry Keoghan was the Joker and the Batman and I think the similarities are there for enough to be. That's my
Well,
theory.
They are
But
making a
the
Batman
director
too.
did say that that she was very inspired by Stanley Kubrick and all that stuff. So I would assume it's more of an homage to that movie.
So I really love this movie. Like I said, I think the soundtrack was great. The visuals were great. The characters I thought really developed over time.
they're all very nuanced and different and quirky, and I found all of them very enjoyable.
At first, like I'm like, okay, this is goofy. When you like see them all like karaokeing, and you got the one guy singing Flo Rida or whatever. I'm like, oh man. And then you get to know them all, and you get to know their inner like feelings and everything.
They're such a weird family, but they're also like kind of pleasant enough. I like the scene where he gets God, what was that guy's name? The friend.
The friend?
The friend of Felix.
Oh,
what was that dude's name?
Shoot.
Where he gets him kicked out because of the
Because he writes a
Palissy
letter.
plates, the fine Palissy plates, and like I liked all that bit. How they were like,
yeah, and he like
that was funny.
then it gets revealed at the end that he snuck in his room like when he was sleeping and sent that letter. And then
Yeah.
you see like how he popped Jacob Elordi's tire or whatever, and that's how
Yeah.
he started talking to him. But I just think this was so different from most movies that I usually see. I don't really think I've seen a movie like this where I was so bored in the beginning. The first 5 minutes, it wasn't until I would say where they start
honestly,
their
I was
friendship.
hooked. I was hooked from the opening shot. I know it's like such a cliche thing to talk about like in like the film world, but like anytime there's like a nice establishing long shot where it's got like the uncut take following through the hallways and there's all the ruckus going on around and it's all like so carefully orchestrated, that I'm such a sucker for that kind of thing. And yeah, like from like the opening I was hooked into this one. I really liked it.
You think this movie's gonna win any awards?
I don't know. Hard to say.
Best acting for like a best acting nomination for Barry? No.
I don't know. Hard to say at this point.
Okay.
It's so early.
Yeah.
And
we got a while. I think it didn't even qualify for this year's. I guess it's for next year's because it released the end of December. Or no. I think it released in time for the Oscars.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But what else do you have to say about this movie?
Let's see. Do I have anything else?
You like the music? I thought the music was great.
I don't really remember the music too much, honestly.
Oh, there is one thing I want to discuss. So the friend of the family who was like living there for a couple of months, and then they were trying to get her to leave, and then you find out that she died. Do you think she died, or you think they murdered her?
It had to have been a
Murder?
because I think in that scene where he's talking to the mom, played by Rosamund Pike, and he's talking about the Carey Mulligan character's Weird Pam or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and they're
Pam.
talking about her like her shortcomings or whatever. I feel like the dialogue and the way he's flirting with her, I feel like he was trying to influence certain things to like go his way there, cuz maybe she could have had like a claim to Saltburn.
How messed up was the scene at the end with the mom in the hospital bed?
Yeah,
Oh
when
my god, I just remember that.
yeah,
Oh, seeing him like dig his hands in her mouth and then
pull out the breathing
pulling it
tube.
out. Oh, I was so disturbed during that. I thought he was gonna do something else to her. I was really convinced if he did that to the grave, I was like,
I thought the movie was gonna go there. I thought
but it
was gonna
didn't.
go
Thank
there,
God.
yeah.
But I was like, if you did this to a grave, then what are you gonna do to this body that you just killed in front of you? Very happy it didn't go there. I'm gonna give this movie, like I said earlier, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
A 10?
I think I am, or a 9 out of 10. It's definitely up there.
I'm probably gonna give it.
Actually, no. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm probably also gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Like I thought it was good. Sometimes it was a bit slow. Sometimes the writing like not always there, but for the most part, I really liked this one.
Yeah.
Thought it was very good.
I was very surprised by this.
Yeah, because again, from the
this.
discourse online, I thought this movie was just really gonna like irritate me, like.
Because all I knew was the bathtub scene. I know you knew about the graveyard scene. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like oh, Jacob Elordi's in the kissing booth, and now he's in this adult movie, and it's crazy. But it really did surpass my expectations in a big way. In a big way.
It was great though. I really was surprised. It's on Amazon Prime. If you guys have Prime, you can watch it for free, which I was not expecting. That was pretty cool. But yeah, that's all of our thoughts, I guess, on Saltburn. Great movie. Very surprising about how good it was. Was it better than The Beekeeper?
Oh, I might have to think about that one.
I don't know, man. Yeah, Barry, Jason.
See, you do got. It's flammable, honey. So and yeah, how did the CIA even keep this beekeeper agency under wraps anyways? I mean, the one that's active shows up in a pickup truck with a minigun on the back, and like the FBI agent said, they're like, oh, the ATF looked at this one. This can fire 6,000 rounds a minute. There's just no way that if every beekeeper was equipped with this thing. Like, and you got like things like the FBI agent lady, special agent, whatever. She's going into the president's villas with an AR-15 and wearing like these kind of heels or tall shoes.
This is
and
all
just
you.
Jeans. Like no.
Can I be honest?
I don't even mean to go.
I gotta be honest. I'm kind of forgetting about the movie already. It's been like 2 hours, and I'm kind of forgetting everything about it. It was very, very bad.
Yeah, it was.
It was so weak.
Yeah,
I might even lower it.
And the fact that was like the most packed theater, like out of like a lot of the ones we've seen recently.
I will say, Mean Girls was really packed when I saw it. Also, another movie that I saw this year, which is a 2023 movie. I put it under 2023, not 2024, but Anyone But You. It's Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, which is a rom-com. It was so good, and that theater was really packed. But I don't think
so everyone's showing out for the shit month of movies.
Listen, Anyone But You and Mean Girls were both really good. And there's really nothing coming out until Dune 2. And also, I heard today...
No, Mickey 17, that got replaced with Godzilla v. Kong.
Really? So that's May?
Yeah.
Same day as
Godzilla got moved up.
Up
to March.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
they want to give Bong Joon-ho more time to work on Mickey 17. Fine with me. Give the Oscar-winning filmmaker more time to make his movie. I will not attest to that.
So Dune is the next big box office movie coming out March 2nd, and it was just announced, I believe, that it's going to be close to 3 hours long.
Nice.
And I don't remember how long the first one was, but I'm pretty sure it was close to 3 hours. Definitely 2.5.
2 hours, 40-something.
We talked about this in the first episode, how I wasn't the biggest fan of Dune, but I'm excited for part 2 because it's more action-based. It's probably going to be less of dialogue-heavy. I have a hot take. I didn't like Oppenheimer. and that was just because it was too dialogue heavy, and I felt the same way with Dune. Listen, guys, I like big action in my movies, I'm not gonna lie. I like Cars 2 over Cars 1 and Cars 3. I got a lot of hot takes here. So
wait for our Pixar video. That's gonna be a debate for the
I can't wait to
ages.
go back and revisit some of these childhood movies, because I wonder if my opinion
Me
changed.
because there's so many of those that's like, dude, what do I even think about Monsters University? When's the last time I thought about that movie?
A
Like,
couple
I don't
of days
know.
ago.
Oh,
Well,
maybe we talked about it at work.
No.
Oh,
I
you
talked
watched
about,
it?
No. I was sitting down my Christmas tree and I saw the Monsters University one and I was like, this was a great movie. But yeah, I wonder
Great. Well, we'll save it.
I haven't seen it in a year, so I don't really remember much about it, but I think it's also nostalgia. That's probably why I like Cars 2 and all these other movies.
See, Monsters University does hit different in the fact that, like, the fact that they made it, like, 10 years after the first one.
2013.
Like, because then
12
everyone
years.
that was, like, a kid with Boo, then they would be in college for when Mike and Sully were there.
Whoa.
So that kind of hits hard.
Something
Like
that wasn't good, though, was the Monsters at Work series on Disney+, which is
Didn't watch it.
Yeah, you don't need to. It wasn't even really Pixar. Do you remember, like, the Planes movies and, like, the Tinkerbell movies?
Yeah.
It's a studio does it like that, where it's it's like Pixar's, like, property, but another studio makes, like, the animation and everything.
Planes. God, I forgot about that movie.
And then Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Oh, that was so bad. The first Planes isn't that bad.
I don't even...
I don't really remember too much
see
from it.
Planes? God, I can't even remember.
I saw Planes in the theater, and then 1 year after Planes came out, the sequel came out. There's no, like... It was definitely rushed. How do you make a sequel in 1 year?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just thought it was going to have such a good box office return the first one. Like, let's get the sequel underway.
And then you saw how that ended up. What else do we want to talk about? Anything you're going to be seeing coming up?
Anything I'm going to be seeing coming up?
Yeah.
I don't have anything on the dock at the moment. Just like I said, few YouTube videos coming.
So... This is the second time we're recording this podcast. We had some problems with the first one, but I was discussing how I was watching the brand new Ted series on Peacock. Pretty good.
With, is Mark Wahlberg returning?
No, it's a prequel. It's set, I believe, when Mark Wahlberg's character is 16 years old. But they have this kid who's doing a great impression of him.
It's not played by him, right?
No. No. Yeah, they DH him like Harrison Ford. No, but he does, like, the voice of him really well. You have Seth Back playing Ted. Yeah, and supposedly the VFX he, like, performed as Ted for 2 hours a week for 22 weeks.
Wow.
It looks really good. I don't really remember much about Ted 1 and 2. It's been a long time since I've seen them, but I highly suggest you guys go and check them out. Also, just finished watching Invincible. I never watched the show. It was my first time. Everyone has said great things about it. Oh, you gotta watch it. If you like The Boys, it's not as good as The Boys, but there are some big shocking moments that they can't do in The Boys.
I've seen a couple scenes from it, and I think it is interesting, but I just don't really care for the animation style.
You get over the animation, trust me.
But I don't know. It kind of looks like anime, but it doesn't have, like, the same style that, like, a lot of anime does. You know, like...
You know what it was? I love animation, and I was kind of... I wasn't the biggest fan of the style when I went going into it, but then you get used to it, and then you get to see the story. For the story alone, you gotta watch it. Like, don't even look at the animation. I mean, you should look at the animation, but the story is so good, and they do things that I had my jaw to the floor for some of this stuff. Oh my god.
Maybe I'll, I say that about so many shows, like, oh, I gotta watch that one.
Well, The Boys is coming out in a couple of months.
Oh yeah, when do we do for that one?
Wait, what?
When do we do for that one?
I don't know. Do we go back and rewatch all 3 seasons?
Oh,
and Gen V?
maybe a seasons 1 through 3 in Gen V retrospective and ranking.
Ooh. I mean, I just watched it this year. I rewatched all 3 seasons to prepare for Gen V.
I haven't watched it since that.
You watched it this year, though. I mean, last year. That was last year.
Last year, yes. But yeah, I haven't watched it since, so I have to refresh my opinions.
Oh, it was so good. The Boys is my favorite TV show of all time. They also just put him in Warzone as an LTM.
Oh yeah, they don't have that on Game Pass, so I can't play with you.
And I was so excited because I was like, let's go and play it. Download Warzone. You got to spend $70 on the new Call of Duty game just to play this LTM. I was so mad.
Wow.
They got A-Train, Firecracker, which is a new character from Season 4, Homelander, Black Noir, and Starlight, and I was like, I'm so excited, and then they were like, pay us $70, and I was like, nah, F off.
Wow.
Ugh.
That's crazy.
But I think we're done.
elite yap sesh at the end of this one.
Yeah,
Next episode I'll have a little more things to talk about.
We'll definitely have more movie news to discuss.
But yeah, I'm starting a new TV show. I'll give you a hint as to what it is. Created by the guy who wrote Prisoners, Denis Villeneuve movie. You know the movie that's like Hugh Jackman and he's hitting the wall with the hammer against Paul Dano and Terrence Howard's holding him. He's like, "Where's my daughter?"
I have no idea.
You've never seen that?
No, I've never.
Crazy, man. Oh my god, such a great movie.
Wait, so you're making a review?
No, so he created this show. It's on HBO.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna say what the name of it is. Well, it's Raised by Wolves. It's a science fiction show.
I've heard of it.
And yeah, I'm gonna be watching it, doing a video of it, because I was reading about it and I have to watch the show because
you haven't watched it yet?
Nope.
Okay.
I think it looks right up my alley.
How many seasons?
Right now I think it's only 2 out.
2 episodes?
No, 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a watch.
So I guess that's a wrap on episode 2. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment on what your thoughts were on the that B movie that we saw. Also,
yeah, if you have any thoughts, if they didn't all escape you on the drive home.
B movie, Beekeeper. If we're gonna rank B movies.
Yeah.
Is there any other B movies?
Not
that I could think of.
Nah, I mean, there's probably some.
Give us your thoughts on Saltburn and The Beekeeper.
A movie like this, like maybe like 10 years ago.
And if you're listening on the podcast, give us a 5-star rating. Or no, give us a rating of whatever you think this podcast is worth.
5-star.
If you want to give us 5 stars, we'd appreciate it. But you can give us 1 if you hate us. That's okay. But if you're listening this far into the episode, you probably don't hate us.
Yeah, let us know if what you want to see next.
Oh yeah, please DM me on Instagram.
Kind of content we will do whatever you guys want.
Send me a DM on movies or TV shows that we can go and watch. We'll watch them. Maybe we'll do some rankings. We have some things. We have some ideas for rankings.
Me and Anthony have been talking about a Marvel ranking for since we've been friends. It's gotta be since 2017.
My ranking is so bad, the one I currently have. I just have been updating it. I did a big rewatch, I believe, in 2020 on all the movies, and now I just add to that ranking, but my ranking has completely shifted since then. I believe we just watched...
I mean, how many different products have they put out at this point? It's gotta be
32 movies, I believe, and there's 7 or 8 Disney Plus shows.
So almost 50 things. Yeah, I'm not rewatching all that. Just the things I haven't watched and the things I could use a refresher on. Because Avengers Infinity War, I must have seen that.
Since the last time that I did this, did an episode of this, we watched. I mean, you didn't. I watched Echo.
Yes, Echo. All right, so another review on top of it.
Which was a 5-episode thing, which I have nothing to say. Started off pretty good. Did not end good. Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see for hopefully better things from Marvel. The only good thing that we have coming this year, Deadpool 3, July 26th, I believe. I cannot wait for Deadpool 3.
Surely they won't fuck that one up.
They better not.
Surely they won't.
Do you think they're going to put all this money into a Deadpool movie that is the end of the Fox universe going into the MCU and kind of ruin it?
I mean, Disney puts the money into a lot of things that fail, so...
They've been making this movie since... They've been trying to get this done since 2018. This is 6 years in the in the making.
This is fucking 6 years in the making.
They better not screw it up.
It better at least be enjoyable.
And if it's not, well, then we have one more bad thing to put in Marvel Phases 4 and 5. And that's it for this episode. I want to thank you guys for listening or watching if you're on YouTube. And come back in 2 weeks from now. We're going to probably make an episode every 2 weeks, I'm thinking. Bi-weekly, that'll fit our schedules. We'll see you guys then.